Hey guys, Shed here, and I have for you a small deck tech for the Felnscar mid-range deck that I and several other members of Team Voprex's Favored have decided to play this weekend at the Season 3 Invitational. The deck itself is a slower mid-range deck, Feln base with a Fire Splash, built around lots of removal, decent card draw, and solid threats, with Champion of Cunning being the major threat in the deck. The original version of this deck was in fact built by Rewind, one of our team members, as a test for this very card. It had just recently been hit by a major nerf right around open beta, and he wanted to see if the card was still playable. And he's been tuning this particular list ever since. He played it in a few tournaments, and in particular, he played in the last chance qualifier for this very event, and made it in. When I saw that he did this, I tried the list out myself, kind of on ladder, and noticed how versatile it was. It has solid game against nearly every known archetype in the meta, and can be easily teched for anything you expect to see. During my discussion and testing with Rewind after I decided to try it out, some other members of our team picked it up as well, and we tuned it to the list you see before you. Excuse me. The core of this deck is the removal, the card draw, obviously, and most of the solid units. But I'll go over some of the more specific tech choices and some weird cards that we've included, which were all geared towards a slower, mostly time-based meta. Most notable being the inclusion of two Vara Fate Touched, which were included in expectation of longer grindy games, such as versus Big Combre, because she's a major threat that not only demands an answer herself as a 6/6 deadly, but also provides immediate value, especially if you recur something like a champion with Aegis active or something. In a similar vein for the slower matchups is Rain of Frogs, which can be absolutely backbreaking. We also included some versatile non-champion threats in Black Sky Harbinger and Thunderstrike Dragon. And a few other small one-ofs like Island's Favor versus Burn and like Discard. And some Backlash, which Backlash in particular we actually found to be an all-around solid inclusion in the meta right now. And it's rarely dead, basically. Our low number, however, is because there's a few matchups like Rakano where it's exceptionally poor, but we can board in more if we feel like we need to. Speaking of the sideboard, I'm not going to bring it up, but the majority of the sideboard are number tweaks, adding extra removal spells here, some more backlashes maybe, swapping out Black Skies for Thunderstrikes or vice versa, to basically to shape and mold our deck to whatever matchup we need it to. There's some other inclusions that are fairly obvious in the sideboard, such as Azindal's Gift as a grind breaker and Ruin for when we really absolutely must kill that attachment. So yeah, that's VPX's Felnscar midrange list, an extremely versatile and adaptable deck for tournament play. I have been Shed, and enjoy the rest of the tournament.